Hey everyone, I hope you're taking it easy and your day has been great thus far. For this video, we'll be going through an unboxing of the, take a deep breath, the high grade 1-144 Gundam TR-6 Woundwort Psycho Blade Custom Advance of Zeta Reboot version. This particular kit is from the high grade Universal Century Advance of Zeta, which is its own little subline and confuses me to no end. And this was released by good old Bandai this year being 2023. Now, based on the packaging, it is a P Bandai kit, and I'm fairly certain it's probably a 95% recolor of the original TR-6. Which is actually quite fun to build. It's just very interesting in certain areas. But anyway, front of the box. So we have a shot of the TR-6 here with some of its customizations. Now I know the head crest is definitely different from the previous Woundwort, which is okay. And we also have some other images of other Advance of Zeta kits here in the background as well. So Advance of Zeta is always very interesting. I will admit I have picked some stuff up over the years because, as I said, it's actually quite interesting. Not all of it floats my boat, but some of it is quite cool. So, front of the box, being P Bandai, it's not overly imaginative on the other areas of the box. As for the inside of the box, there will be plastic. There will be lots of plastic. There'll be plastic for days. So we have a multitude of plastic bags with runners in them. I'm not going to try and count them. There is a manual at the bottom, but being a P Bandai, it's not going to be sporting any colour. It's pretty much going to get straight into the business end of things. So with that having been done, time to crack open these plastic bags so we can have a better look at the runners as well as the manual. And with everything out of the bags, bit of plastic to go through, that's okay. So business end of the manual, pretty much straight into the included runners, A's, B's, C's and several other letters. And we will have some extra information regarding the C parts. I believe C1 comes in two different colors. There'll be, I think it's the white and the yellow. So keep that in mind since this manual's not going to be in colour. Otherwise, what do we have? In fact, you can actually build two different versions. So you can build the TR-6 Woundwort Psycho Blade Custom or the Black Harry's Re-Xeon specification, which I feel is probably more aligned to the original one. As opposed to the Psycho Blade Custom. So going through the manual, this will probably become very confusing throughout, although the legs should be fairly consistent. Probably won't go through the entire manual because it's just one of those things that if you do get this kit, you'll see it for yourself. But there's definitely a lot of options to go through. We do get some included action bases. Some of these steps just going through the weapons, rifle modes, claw modes and things like that. So if you have the original TR-6, you will know exactly what the Woundwort is capable of doing. A lot of playability, it does get a bit confusing, so keep that in mind. So that was a quick look at the manual, because yeah, it is a little bit confusing. We do get a included sticker sheet. A lot of these will be color correcting, if I remember correctly from when I tried building mine. But that shouldn't be too bad. I think there were some that I was going to avoid using, but we'll see when the time comes. So we have one of those. We also have a transfer sheet as well. Now these might be a bit harder to see just because they're white, and yeah, for some reason white and blue is not good combos. So those were those. In terms of the runners, we do have a few to get through. So we have A's 1, 2 and 3, which are basically all in a black colour. well, they're either black or very, very dark blue. I think they're black. So we have that. Now, as I said, if you ever built one of these in the past, these runners probably do look very familiar to you. So here's A2. I will admit I do like the colour, which is partly why I picked this one up, because the original build wasn't too bad, but the darker black just appeals to me more. And that's the A3. So those were those 3 A runners. Now we have 3 B runners in a bit of a grey. So we have B1, so these will be joints and various parts of the weapons. The weapons being the weapons, they're not small parts, so definitely keep that in mind. So that's B1. We have B2, still in grey. The manipulators are quite nice though. And we also have B3, still in grey. Although this is pretty much more of a functional copy of parts of B1. Into the C's, and I think I can do them together. So we have C1, C2, I agree with the 2 C1s. So the yellow C1 is a copy of the white C1. Just depending what you do will dictate whether you use the white or not the white, and the yellow. C2, however, is pretty much distinct. We have a single D runner in red, if I ever use it the right way. So one of those. We actually have a few E runners. E's 1 through to 3. So E1 is back in black, which once again I do quite like the look of. E2's gone back to the grey, so these will be joints and things like that. And then E3 is definitely brand new and unique to this. E3 is pretty much that head crest. So there you go. It actually has a decent amount of bulk to it, to the point that if you look at the runner, it's pretty much been done in such a way to not actually have any damage go on to that. So yes, be very careful with this one. This is pretty much the main ticket item for this kit. F2 in white. We do have a standard PC001 polycap in grey. How many of those are used I cannot remember. We do have a single PVC black wire. Make sure that you have this on hand. Do not be like me, who's lost these in previous kits. I believe it was the Railroad Torgies 3, if my memory serves me right. And then the 2 action-based stands, both in black. So it's very nice that we get that included. So that will bring us to the end of the Gundam TR-6 Woundwort Psychoblade Custom High Grade 1-144 unboxing. Good amount of plastic there, but the runners aren't full-size runners, which is good. And I think there will be bits that will not be used, I think, especially on the C runners. So for this particular kit, definitely be careful when putting it together. It does get a little annoying when you've got copies of the same runner just in different colours, because being black and white manuals, you just don't necessarily pick up on it. But I think Bandai have improved their commentary and references for when things like that happen now, so it's always a good thing. Thank you very much for watching this unboxing video. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, same handle as this channel, and hopefully at some point in time there'll be some progress on where this is currently sitting in the backlog. With that being said, stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video. Hopefully it'll either be some Gunpla, or some Lego, or some Transformers, something on the channel. Until then, see ya.